Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you like all things true crime, if you like it delivered in a peaceful, tranquil manner, if you like it clear and concise without drama, then I highly recommend you subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please smash the like button. It's a free way you can help. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. Hello, my friends. Time for a little makeup tip. Well, this is more of like a skincare tip, actually. I told you I'd be sharing some of those. This one's a little crazy. Okay, so I saw these things called, let's see here, I'm grabbing the package. You can hear it. Non-strip hard wax beads. They're by Max Pearl, and it says Dare to Bear non-strip hard wax beads. Okay, these I found on Amazon, and what I did was I have a little wax melt infuser in my bathroom that is like a plug-in. It's almost like a nightlight. I think you can see where this is going. So I stuck some of these little wax beads in this wax melt thingy, and I let them melt for about, it took about 10 minutes. And then I grabbed a wooden stick that I ordered as well. I dipped it in the wax, and I used the wax on my face wherever I wanted to rip away any hair. No, I don't have a unibrow, and no, I don't have a mustache, and that's because of these. No, I'm kidding. So I was able to give myself a little bit of an eyebrow cleanup all by myself at home. I didn't rip off any skin. Hallelujah. It didn't hurt. It wasn't too hot. I didn't burn myself. I mean, little kids should not try this at home, but adults, if you're careful, well, it works, let me tell you. Moving on to the true crime. In their interview with Chronicles of Olivia, Chris and Katie Proudfoot shared what happened on the day Sebastian went missing. There is no mention of a thud at this point in their interviews, nor is there mention of their 3-hour phone call. That's an important detail in the timeline. Why doesn't Katie mention it? Also of note, Katie and Chris, unlike parents of actual missing children who are desperate to find their kids, do not throw out any possible scenarios. They don't try to help law enforcement figure out what to check out or follow up on. They seem to have no idea what could have happened, and they don't even try to come up with any. Sus. If your child is missing, you are going to be racking your brain to come up with anything and everything. You are going to call out the cavalry, but not this twiddly-dee and twiddly-duo. Why does Katie feel the need to tell us that choice words were used that morning? I don't give a rat's ass if she said, "Where the F is he?" Why do you have to tell the public that? I'm not going to share if I said something like that. Why this story about Sebastian liking to stand behind walls and scare her? This is what you call useless word salad. It fills up the interview time, but it doesn't tell us anything critical about Sebastian's disappearance. It's also something safe to say. It's not going to get Chris and Katie into any hot water because it's clearly not at all associated with Sebastian's disappearance. There's no fear of saying anything that might reveal the truth or get them in trouble. Katie should be sharing crucial information here to try and help the public know what to look for. Instead, she wastes precious screen time talking about details that don't matter when it comes to finding Sebastian. She's talking about Sebastian, but then gets stuck when she says, "But he was already." She's caught here. Chris knows it, and he tries to straighten her up. He coughs. And she needs to find a way to extricate herself from this awkward verbal situation. To me, she's trying to remember the narrative. She stumbles awkwardly onto the three-way call, and suddenly the he she was talking about becomes her husband, Chris Proudfoot. In my opinion, this is where Katie is lying. The truth never changes. It flows naturally. Your brain helps you tell it. You don't have to tap your fingers on the table to try and remember what happened first, second, third, etc. I believe Katie was going to say that Sebastian was already deceased, and she knew in her mind that nothing could be done about it. Thus, it now became a savior arse scenario where Katie and Chris Proudfoot needed to find ways to extricate themselves from blame and guilt. Chris was out of town conveniently in Memphis. Katie went to bed and only noticed a problem at 6 a.m. when she went to wake up Sebastian, but he was gone.
He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece. I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. He's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and mind you, all of this took place in 1 minute flat. But, I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not in this effing house. I can't find our son." And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was hysterical, and I was crying and I was screaming. And he was three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was "Go back to the house, they're on their way." And I drove back to the house, and 20 days later we had.
Did you run or did you drive, Katie? Shouldn't that be, solid in your mind? Why are you wavering? People who lie will sprinkle the lies in with the truth. The lies will go where the story goes off the rails. And that would be where the child got injured or hurt or died or was taken away somehow. They will share whatever is true and benign where they can, as long as it doesn't reveal any details of the crime.
20 days later, we haven't found him.
God, yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, when we were driving up here, this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever walked away before? Or, like, has that ever happened? It's just... No, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is...
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children. But no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache. But for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
what are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is, with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst.
Yeah. And that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Really trying not to go down that road because we're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues. And based on facts of what everybody knows, right now, there's nothing, and everything is still on the table to being looked at.
I just know he's out there somewhere.
When Olivia says she can't imagine how stressful it must have been to find that Sebastian wasn't in the house, Katie subtly shakes her head no, as in, no, it wasn't really all that stressful. Sometimes our brains send automatic signals, and the body reacts genuinely. Katie can't 100% control her body's reactions. The brain knows the truth, and the brain wants to tell the truth. And why are Chris and Katie so soon at the point of thinking the worst? Parents who want their kids back alive do not give up hope ever. They won't even go there. Now, when asked about the flashlight footage, Chris Proudfoot seems happy to share that. From what he's been told, the lights are not flashlights. To me, this is Chris's relief that the authorities, per him anyway, don't believe anyone was running around in the darkness with flashlights. If Chris and Katie were out there with flashlights, then they must have been freaked out to hear about these lights and this video. And then they must have been very relieved to hear that the authorities don't believe the lights are flashlights. Notice how Katie had to be prompted, by the way, to talk about Sebastian. She didn't automatically want to send a message of hope to him, as in, we're coming for you. Katie also failed to address potential kidnappers and to beg them not to hurt her son. Chris then tries to tie Sebastian's story to Riley Strain's, as if there is someone in Tennessee making kids go missing. Sorry, Chris, Riley's story is not connected to Sebastian's. Nice try. Chris loves being the authority. He says he's putting out official statements. He's the freaking stepdad who tried to spend the least amount of time around this child. What makes him think we see him as the family's spokesperson? Yeah, I think he came up with the narrative. So from that perspective, he's the spokesperson, but I don't believe the narrative. Katie also admits that she's not going online. Shouldn't she be spending every minute when she's not outside looking for Sebastian, looking for answers online, trying to see what the chatter on social media is about? Why doesn't she have enough curiosity to try and learn anything and everything people are saying. There's no tears, no desperation, no pleading, no emotion. Katie and Chris are blank slates. They have poker faces. Have you ever seen less worked up parents when a child has gone missing? People keep trying to find fault with Sebastian's biological father, Seth. Seth, for whatever faults he has been adamant that he wants his child back. I can tell you, he is dealing with serious health issues right now. So if you're not seeing Seth at the moment, it's because of doctor's orders. I believe in Seth's alibi. He was at work, at a prison, on camera. He may not be Father of the Year, but he's Sebastian's best bet on getting found because Seth cares, he loves his child, he wants him back, and he wants answers.
Is it speculations? Now, what I can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Okay.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff, and it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has, and they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's string and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. That's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they've got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
That's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh, God. That if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion, that we love you, miss you, we want you home. And if you can, call us, get wherever you can, let us know, and we will come get you.
Call 911, run out into the street, go in public, anything. The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get awareness because, you know, not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone can see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? You know, it is amazing because in the past couple of weeks, you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old, 6'4" or 7" college kid from Missouri who has vanished without a trace. Like, that's a huge significance here. That it's like, wow, how? So
It's scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family is going through.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
Do you guys receive hate
That-
on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know, or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that.
How are we supposed to believe anything out of Chris Proudfoot's mouth because we know that they were not cleared? None of them have been cleared. And why are the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks so unwelcoming to people who show up to search for Sebastian? Bullhorn Betty is in Hendersonville, and Terry Bowersocks, Chris's stepfather, has been trailing her around, taking photos of her license, her car. Why? What's the problem? Betty's right when she says they should be welcoming me, they should be thanking me, they should be grateful that I care. Why? I mean, when do you see the grandparents of a missing child not invested in trying to find that kid? Remember Elizabeth Smart? Her parents were not involved in her disappearance. She was nabbed from her home. Listen to how her father spoke to news reporters on day 1 of her disappearance.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:27, and we have a major story breaking at this hour. A 14-year-old girl kidnapped from her home by an intruder during the night in the Federal Heights area.
Elizabeth, if you're out there, we're doing everything we possibly can to help you. We love you. We want you to come home safely to us.
Those are tears. That's real emotion. That's sadness. That's desperation. Listen to what Michael Vaughn's mother, Brandy, said months after he disappeared. This is what we expect to see from parents who have missing children, who love their children, who had nothing to do with their child's disappearance, and who desperately want their child back. We're not seeing that in Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Sorry, but we're not.
And so with that, at this time, I'd like to introduce Michael's mother, Brandy. Brandy is representing the Vaughn family today, and she would like to give a statement. So, Brandy.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for all being here today. My name is Brandy Neal, and I am Michael Joseph Vaughn's mama. I am here before all of you today on behalf of my family to speak about Michael. As much and everyone in our family wants to be up here in front of all of you today, I am here to speak on all of our behalf. I am here to ask you all. I'm here to ask you, please for your help. I am here to ask you to please keep Michael's face his name and his story in every one of your hearts, your eyes, and your minds. It has been 115 days. 115 days. He has not been home. And we need every one of you. I need you. I need your help to bring my baby home. I need you to see his beautiful smile. I need you to see how happy he is. That smile was one of our most favorite camping trips. He got to see his first beaver dam, and he got to catch so many frogs that day, and he was so excited. His beautiful blue eyes. He was so happy that day because I promised we would go get ice cream cones. And he laughed so hard because his baby sister got to have her first ice cream cone, and it was everywhere. We got to play at the park that whole day. It was warm, it was sunny, and we played catch. We played football until it got dark. I need you. I need your help, please. I need you to know how much Michael is loved. I need you to know how much he is missed. Our family is broken without him. We miss his laughs, his smiles. We miss his hugs. I need you to know. He is such a sweet, fun, exciting little boy. He brings such joy and love to our family and everyone that he knows and that knows him. Michael has a laugh that is beyond contagious. You can't help but smile and laugh when you hear his laugh. We need him home. I am asking for your help. I am asking for everyone's help. Please, please, if you know anything at all, if you know something, please, I am begging. This is my baby. This is my son. I need him home. I want him home. Please, I need your help to bring him home. I want to thank all of the community and the extended communities and everyone who continues to keep Michael in your thoughts, in your prayers, and in your eyes. Please keep sharing his picture. Please, any information to help bring my son home. I want to thank the Fruitland Police Department, the state, FBI. I want to thank all of them for their continued support. They have become family, and they are his son too.
Michael's mom speaks about Michael in the present tense. She is shaking at times. She feels the need to plead with the public for their continued help. She wants them to keep his face in their minds. She tells us personal stories about him to bond the public with the image of Michael. She thanks people, the law enforcement, the local community, everybody for helping. She's clearly invested in her child. She had nothing to do with Michael's disappearance. This is a mother who truly wanted her child home. This is what we should expect to see with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, and it's just not there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now smash that like button if you appreciate me.